of the day, everyone. Welcome to our podcast channel. And today we are going to do one of the podcast on Point Bharat. So I would love to introduce our today's guest, and we are honored to invite our guest, Miss Nehal Malpani, right? So, ma'am, could you please introduce yourself a bit?
Right. So my name is Snehal Malpani, and I call myself a coach for transformation.
Mm.
And I'm also a founder and CEO of Skills Panacea Learning Solutions Private Limited. We are a training, coaching, and consulting company operating pan India and internationally too, where our focus is on building employability skills
Right.
as well as employee enhancement trainings, at the same time focusing on leadership interventions.
That sounds really good. So let's talk a little bit about how you started your this company, right? And what's your vision and mission for this company? Because I do feel like we do have so many youngsters who really want to do something as a startup even, right?
Right.
So could you please elaborate something about your company?
Sure, why not? So, when I started this company, there was no entrepreneurship fever in my mind, honestly. It just started with a passion to bring in transformation amongst the graduates of tier 2 and tier 3 city. And our entire focus was on bridging the gaps between their aspirations and opportunities. So, enhancing their personalities, enabling, empowering them to crack their interviews and land their dream job.
That's really important nowadays.
That was a very big challenge right there, because right from speaking abilities to the overall personality and communication, people from the rural backgrounds do have potential, but
But they are
there's a
not.
lot of challenge when it
But
comes.
at the same time, that's even my observation when we talk about personality development, right?
Yeah.
It's very necessary. But nowadays, when we talk about this generation, in this generation, the problem is about they do feel like we really need to look good on the social media only. But when they need to speak something or when they need to present themselves in front of, you could say, more than 50 people, they get a little, you could say, because of the low self-esteem, they get little nervous about it. So
Right.
could you please make these youngsters aware about that? What kind of steps or what kind of practice practices they need to do for building themselves?
Right. So let me here highlight the difference between a good, charming personality
Right.
and the competency. So, when you talk about a charming personality, it's about good looks, how you carry yourself, how you walk, and how you initiate the conversations. But that's just the start of it. When you have to actually build on your credibility, you need to have that competency. Now, what is competency? Competency is knowledge about the things that you are wanting to get into. It's
So
about the experience, the practice that you have. And that's when you start feeling confident about it.
exactly.
Because number one, you know things. And number two, you know that you can do those things.
Exactly.
That builds in confidence in you.
So true.
And once that is built, which we call as the competence, that reflects from your personality.
Exactly. That's very nice of you. You had given such a good advice to our youngsters. My next question would be about, ma'am, that let's say when we talk about lower self-esteem, right? It's the biggest problem nowadays. When we talk about that, people are not really impressive with their thoughts, right? There are few youngsters, those who really, they know about things, how to present, but they don't know that how they need to talk in between people.
Right.
So what kind of, you could say, one of the solution you could give to these youngsters?
So people know a lot of things, and the only challenge is in exhibiting that competence. For that, you need to understand why it is happening. Number one, maybe it's the conditioning, where in their past they have never seen such opportunities,
So true.
or they may have seen people fail
Hmm.
when such opportunities were given to them. Maybe one of their friends in the past giving a speech in public and just frozen there.
Yeah.
So those memories are there in their mind,
And I
and
guess
it stops there.
that make these youngsters scared of it. Because there's one of the observation when we talk about failures. I do feel like failures are the pillars of success.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
It's very important when you talk about your failures. But that's my observation that when we talk about failures, people are not really vocal about it.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because they feel like that it's not really important to talk about our failures. Might be people would judge about it.
Absolutely. Because people are scared not of failures, but people are scared of the impact it would have
Yeah.
on people around them if they get to know that, hey, you know what, I failed.
Yeah.
What will happen to them? What will they think of me? So people here need validation and support system. And you see, people around you are today, I would say the emotional intelligence has really dropped because they don't care about it. People would just immediately give you feedback, and it's not a constructive feedback, but it's more of demotivating. And it demotivates you to such an extent that you just fail to practice more
Exactly.
and you just lose it right there.
Exactly.
So, what you need is believe in yourself, number one. And number two, practice, practice, practice. And number three, just give your best shot.
That
And when people comment or criticize you, just take it as a feedback to improve on yourself further.
exactly. So, ma'am, as you're talking about the feedback, right? So, I want to talk about that when you started your this company, right? What came in your mind? Let's say I totally am sure about it. There would be so many people who had, given you so many advices on that, ma'am, this is not something you need to start up, or what kind of feedbacks you got?
So, when I started this company, I started in a tier 3 city, tier 3 place. Back then it was tier 3, okay? Now it's probably tier 2. The first question was, what are you even doing? Even today, most of the closest people around me don't know what I do.
Yeah.
तुम क्या करती हो? अच्छा, तुम पर्सनालिटी डेवलप करती हो. But भाई, personality develop करना is such a vague term.
It's a bigger task.
Yeah, it's a vague term, right? But what we do is we empower people. We empower people for employability. We empower people to be a good leader.
Yeah.
We empower them with the right communication strategies.
Exactly.
This is what we do. So that was one criticism. Number two was, why do you have to travel? कितना travel करोगी? घर कौन संभालेगा?
You being a true woman, right? Of course. So, with this conversation, we are getting very deeper into it. I want to ask you one of the very interesting question, which is a little very, you could say, closer to my heart. That's about women empowerment. That's one of the word I'm hearing it since longer time, right? Women empowerment, women empowerment. But could you please define? I really want, personally, I want to, listen about it. What's your definition about women empowerment?
When a woman knows what she really wants and she's able to decide that she wants it and she's able to share with everybody that this is what I want and she starts working towards it while maintaining the entire ecosystem around her is true women empowerment.
Very beautifully you defined it, I must say it. So when we talk about women empowerment, that's one of the issue that's there in our society. We live in that modern world where people allow women to work on different platforms, to work at different corners. But then also, when we talk about our social culture, people question mark about it. People say about it that, that's her duty. ये तो इसकी ड्यूटी है, घर पे भी आके घर संभालना है and बाहर भी काम करना है. How you think about it? How women are responsible? How much women are responsible when it comes about taking care of their home place?
I think what's the harm in people saying this? ये तो उनकी duty है. हाँ, by duty है because we are the only ones who are capable of handling things outside and inside. So I think fine, criticize us. We'll do it in a much better way.
I really like this. I'm going to adapt it. Please.
Yeah, I can find innovative ways to get my things done.
True.
Yeah, I'll tell you very honestly, because as women, we are the ones who can actually manage both.
Yeah.
Right? So why not do it? You can be a leader outside at your workplace and be a leader at your home too. And you can only do that when you actually have control over things.
So true.
You need to find innovative ways to delegate things and get it done through your maybe house helps or with the support of your family members. But do it. You become better. So
Exactly.
I feel when a woman is good at handling her domestic chores,
Both
she also
things.
becomes better at handling her
Yeah,
professional things.
that's very true, very true. So, when we are talking about the leadership qualities, being a leader, what are your opinions about being a boss and being a leader? There's a very different concept when we talk about being a boss and being a leader.
Hmm.
See, when I work somewhere, I do feel like I always say about it that I am not the boss there.
Yeah.
I want to be a leader.
Mhm.
So, what are your opinions about when we talk about being a boss and being a leader?
I'll be very honest with you. I don't know what a boss is because I've never been one.
I hope you're so blessed you always got leaders in your life. Good mentors, is it?
Yes, I did get mentors, and I was fortunate enough to having got into the soft skills industry at such an early age that I realized that it's always about managing people.
Mm.
It's never about expecting what they're doing. It's just about
So let's say even if they are lacking behind something. So managing people means, are you talking about their mental state also? Emotional state also?
absolutely, it's an overall well-being.
All right.
It's an overall well-being. So knowing what you expect from that person, be it in your family, be it at your workplace, even if
Right.
that's an employee, once you know what you expect from them, you would know if they're doing it right. If they're not doing it right, there's a way to put it across.
All right.
And
So
upskill them.
that's very. I need to be very honest here. I want to ask you one of the situational based question, right?
Okay.
So that came quick in my mind about, let's say if somebody is going through one of the breakdown and that person is working somewhere. I do feel like you must be, as women also, even I'm talking about the general audience also, my viewers want to know about it. When you're going at your workplace and you are going through a lot at, like, from your home place, how we need to stay very neutral or how we need to stay very balanced when it comes to presenting yourself at your workplace.
I think this comes from you yourself.
Right. So you mean it varies from person to person?
It does.
Hmm.
But the only way out is live in the present. I am at home, I'm dealing with the situation directly.
Mhm.
So I need to take care of the situation.
Hmm.
When I am at work, I have to be in present. I think there are other things that are being expected from me. There are a lot of demands that I have to meet. So again, I just have to be in the present. Just be in the present and everything else will be taken care of.
Very, very nice of you. So, ma'am, what do you think about that? How much your role is critical when it comes to you being a lady? You are handling so bigger, one of the company. What do you think about this perspective? How much responsibilities are there on your shoulder?
Um, I see that I have got only one life. And one of the best principles I've always learned to carry forward is that my personal life and my professional life are not different.
Mm.
Everything together is my personal life, and my profession is a part of my
That's
personal life. So, with that one belief, it empowers me to do everything. So, I have just divided my life uh, basis who all are the stakeholders in my personal life and what are my responsibilities towards each one of them. And having known them and having understood them deeply, I have a strategy for every facet of my life.
that's really good. So, my next question would be about, I do feel like when we talk about, let's say one of the challenge that every woman or every other youngster is facing nowadays, it's about the lower self-esteem,
Mm-hmm.
right? So let's say, giving you one of the other situational based question,
Yeah.
that's about, let's say there's my friend who is doing really well in her personal life.
Okay.
But at the same time, she's staying at her home. And at the additional, she want to do something in her professional world also. But her parents, her other people, they are not allowing her to grow somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So at that situation, what that person needs to do?
That person needs to decide. Simple. So I'll tell you one big thing with women. We want to be perfect daughters, perfect wives, perfect mothers, and we want to be perfect. We want everybody to say, "Hi, Mary Bau. She's so perfect. Oh, my mom is the best. My wife is the best."
Yeah.
And we are actually wanting that. So we are prioritizing those appreciations and praises
Mhm.
over what we want to do. So
Exactly.
when everybody's stopping me, the decision is what I have made
Hmm.
to either listen to the expectations of the other
Yeah, I was
or
to say.
listen to my heart.
Hmm.
So if I have decided to stay back at home and fulfill their expectations, how do I have the right
It's
to
very simple. We cannot make everybody happy at the same time. Is it?
why would you even want to?
Yeah, that's little cool about it.
Yeah. I mean, see, you don't have to disturb the ecosystem around,
Right.
but at the same time, you are the best person to decide
Mhm.
what you need to do and what you need to leave, because
Mhm.
whatever you're going to achieve, it has a cost. If you are ready to bear the cost, go ahead with it. If not, then leave it.
Yeah.
But you're the one to decide. Don't regret it later.
Exactly.
Evaluate it rightly.
Exactly. So that was very nice of you, the suggestion which you had given me, right? So my next question would be about that you being in this field or in the
Mhm.
academia, right? Is it really difficult for you to balance such youngsters which are there in this generation? Let's say, how much of challenges you are facing when it comes to their behavioral issues?
So the only challenge that I see, I'm not saying I face, the only challenge that I see is uh, the Gen Zs lack
Hmm.
patience,
Yeah.
resilience,
Hmm.
and number two, they just want everything
Very
quick.
quicker. Yeah,
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah. So that's the only challenge I see. And unfortunately,
Hmm.
they are learning it the hard way. Some of them just get lucky to having achieved things in their lives.
So
At least they portray it that
Yeah.
ways on LinkedIn or through the social medias. But deep inside, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of
Everybody is going through a lot.
depression.
Yeah.
There's a lot of FOMO that's affecting.
That's affecting them.
Yes,
Really badly, I must say that.
I see those challenges around. So what one needs, what these people need, are people who understand them. And in order for faculties and parents to be able to establish and maintain good rapport with them,
Exactly.
make the right communication
But
strategy.
then also, ma'am, when we talk about parents and teachers, right, with the youngsters, when it comes about their behavioral issues, right, I do feel like every school and every educational place, everywhere we do have psychologists and psychiatrists.
Mhm.
But at the same time, people are not vocal about it. Even if they are vocal, at the same time, parents say to the teachers about that, you need not to say anything to our kids. Earlier, we live in that generation where our parents used to say to our teachers about it, even if, let's say, we are heading back home. I still remember, I'm talking about myself, even my mother was so concerned about it, that what's my homework or how I'm behaving, how I'm performing. But nowadays, it's about parents are so busy in their lives.
Yes.
They're not giving actual time to their kids.
Yes.
So there comes parenting style also. There
Mm.
comes your, you could say, the time which you are giving to your children. That also comes. So what solution you want to give to the parents that how they need to cultivate good habits when it comes to giving time to their children?
Okay. You need to understand that everybody is trying to give their best.
Exactly.
Okay. So as faculties, I'll think from a faculty perspective, because this is a complaint that comes to me from a faculty.
Right.
So in order to be a faculty who is empowered already, they need to evolve and start looking at things from a different lens.
Right.
So instead of blaming parents,
Hmm.
you understand parents cannot educate them. Parents
Exactly.
cannot, uh, teach them their academics. Parents cannot teach them extracurricular together, and that's why they have chosen your university. So I would, right? Because they believe in the university and the team of the university, that here is where my child is going to evolve 360 degrees.
Right.
And if we as faculties again ask parents to invest time,
True.
and invest energy,
True.
and change something in
I
you,
do feel like they
what are we
need to
doing?
work as a team. We need not to only dependent on the parents. I do feel like both need to
Right.
work as a team,
Right.
and that's really important.
And how do you do that?
Hmm.
You do that by taking them into confidence. So here, when parents talk to kids, parents need to be more resilient.
Yeah.
And when we as academicians speak to these parents and students,
Yeah.
we are the ones controlling things. So we need to be more vulnerable,
Exactly.
more adaptive,
Exactly.
more resilient, and more understanding.
So that's why we say it's very important to focus on Student Connect program.
Exactly.
It's very important.
Yes. You need to move from being just a faculty
Yeah.
to a coach here.
Exactly. So, ma'am, I won't be taking your much time now. Though I wanted to ask you so many questions, I was so excited for it. But now, last question, not the least one. I would love that you would give one of the, you could say, solution or one of the moral which you want to give to our viewers, to each parents, each student, each youngsters, those who are watching us.
Number one, accept yourself and accept people around you the way you are. Because only when you accept them the way they are, you connect with them, and you can bring in change in them. So number one is acceptance, and number two, for the aspiring professionals, it's very important for you to continue learning.
Right.
Consistent learning is going to be the key to success. Never come to that phase where you think, hey, I've learned it all and now I want to win it. No,
Yeah.
it's never enough.
That's so true.
Continue learning.
Thank you, ma'am. I love to, ask you so many questions. So I'm Nitansha from On Point Bharat channel, and I would love to bring more of the interesting podcast for you with more of the speakers. So I'm Nitansha signing off with Kuljit, cameraman. Thank you for watching us.